out everybody, and no one can whoop him. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Chris coming at you with another episode to the Beautiful Struggle podcast. And this is episode number 22. And today I have an amazing guest on with me. I have my beautiful wife, MorganMichelles.
Hello.
Okay. At this point, I don't even consider her a guest. She's really like a co-host to me.
Yeah, I'm just one of the many.
I mean, a lot of the episodes that you're on, they actually do really well.
Well, duh.
They do really good. I'm not going to lie. So with that being said, for you guys that are new, this podcast is all about sharing perspective, finding purpose, and exploring different types of hustle. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, please subscribe to the Beautiful Struggle podcast. Now, with that being said, we're approaching Christmas time.
My favorite holiday.
Your favorite holiday, a lot of people's favorite time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to ask you, what was your most memorable Christmas gift that you ever received?
So it just like when I think of like the most memorable Christmas gift, I go like way back, like when I was a little girl, and I can't even remember who bought it for me. Like I don't know if it was my parents or like my grandparents that bought it for me, but it was a Jeep, like a Barbie Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
like the one you actually sit in?
Yes.
Wow.
Like, and it was pink and it was big and it was a 2-seater, so me and my sister could sit in it. But I was so small that I like couldn't really drive it. So it basically like became my sister's like gift, because she would just drive me around in it, which is actually funny because like my sister would always drive me around even like when like we grew up.
Yeah, didn't you tell me like in high school she would drive you around everywhere? And
yeah, like literally like she would drive me around everywhere. My friends would drive me around everywhere because I was always the youngest in my class. And I just like didn't ever feel the need to get a license because everybody was driving me around. But then of course my mom was like, oh yeah, your sister's about to graduate, so nobody's about to be driving you around like that.
And you had told me, I know she's listening to this as well, you had told me that she had walked in the room and was like, yo, get your butt up.
Yeah, because it was like Thanksgiving break, and it was like early in the morning, and she came in and was like, get up. And I'm like, what? Where are we going? She's like, oh, you're going to driving school. I'm like, no, I'm not. She's like, oh, I already signed you up. And I was like, but I told you I didn't want to drive. And she's like, yeah, I don't care. I was like probably like 15 and a half, 16.
Oh, wow. You were young.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So my most memorable gift that I ever gotten, I always go back. So my parents, they always did their best and to get the gifts that we needed and that we wanted. So I always appreciate them for that. And they always gave us like a ton of different amazing gifts. But one of them that I always go back to is this jersey, this NBA jersey that I got, that my mom had got for me. It was like a throwback Carmelo Anthony jersey. And I just remember when I got it, it was way too big for me. It was like in a men's medium or men's large or something like that.
And you're like little.
I was little and I was like, I don't care. I still like this thing. I'm still going to rock it. And like I just remember like the joy that it brought me. And
you still have it, right?
It's crazy because I was literally just going to say I still have the jersey and I still be rocking it during the summertime because it still fits, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, Christmas time coming up. Also, speaking of gifts, your birthday just passed.
Yes, my birthday literally just passed a couple days ago. My birthday was on the 3rd of December.
December 3rd.
Yeah, and I had a really nice birthday.
So how does it feel to be 24 years old?
It doesn't feel any different.
No?
No.
Okay.
Like, I'm still, like, if people ask me and so I'm like, oh, I'm 23, and then if I really think about it, I'm like, oh, wait, I'm 24 now.
Yeah. So you said you really enjoyed your time, so you don't have to tell us the whole day, but you can tell us, like, the second half of the day. And there's a reason why. Well, we're not trying to flex or anything, but there's a reason why we're going to talk about it. Go ahead.
So my husband surprised me with dinner, and we ended up going to Tao. And I've never been to Tao before. You know, it's like super bougie. And he was just like, yeah, we're gonna go. And I was like shocked from the beginning. And the thing about it, usually like I would like look at the menu before and kind of like look up the place. But I was like, you know what? I just like want to experience it like just for the first time as soon as I walk in.
Yeah. So real quick, I did tell you that I was gonna take you out to eat. Did you have any idea, or did you have any idea where we were going? Or?
No, I literally did not have a single clue. I was just like, we're going to go to dinner, but I don't know where we're going to go. Like, I think you even asked me, and I was like, I legit can't even give you an answer because I don't know where we're going. Like, you kept it very well under wraps.
Yeah. So what happened?
So then we get dressed. Like, we both get, like, nicely, like, dressed. I put on a dress and some heels, and we arrive, and like it's like if you've been to Tao, like you know, like from the outside it doesn't look like very much. Like it's just like
it's real
it's
simple.
A wooden door,
big old wooden door
that's heavy to open.
Yeah, and it's like she's saying it. There's no like welcome. It's just like real subtle and like secretive almost.
Like if you know type of thing.
Right.
So we walk in, and if you walk into Tao LA, it's just like a wooden wall right when you walk in, so you have no other option to go like but right. So we go right, and then we see the hostess, and then like they get us all signed in and checked in, and then they're like, okay, follow me. And then that's when we both like turned left, and we both were like, whoa, like what the heck? Like I looked at him, I looked at Chris, I was like, wow, like it was something I had never experienced before. And I was just like, wow, like it's crazy that, you know, this place is right here, and like if you don't know, like you would never know, because it's like multiple levels. Like you have to walk down like stairs, and there's like a big statue like in the back, but in the middle
I mean, this statue must be like, it had been like 20 maybe 30 feet high. I think it was like 30.
I think even more than that.
Yeah, it was huge. It was
like all the way to the ceiling.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it's really big. It's just like they're playing music, and everybody, you know, like when you walk into those type of places, there's like a different type of energy, different type of vibe that goes on. So like you walk in, and everybody's just like in their own kind of energy, in their own mood. They're not really like focused on what other people are doing.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the food was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh my gosh,
like,
it's so
we were eating stuff that I've never like tried some of these foods, and like my like palate, my food palate, I guess, was expanded. And it's funny because, okay, so if you know me, I'm not bougie at all.
No.
Like I'm far from it. Like I'm good just going to the Waffle House in the hood and all that.
Literally.
So we go in there, and like I have like a plate of chicken, and I'm licking my fingers and all that.
Oh my, y'all, he's literally like, and I look at him like, do not do that in here. He's like, what? And I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah, you can't be acting like that in there. But,
no, you cannot. He forgot where he was for a second.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason why we brought this up, because I really wanted to talk about the mindset behind that next level lifestyle. Like, and like when we go to things like Tao LA or anything else that's kind of bougie, we always are in the mindset of like, wow, like these are like the opportunities that are out there. This is like the lifestyle that we can have and enjoy. And not to say that we want to come to Tao every single week.
Oh yeah, no.
Because you don't want to
oversaturate
it.
Yeah.
But to feel like, hey, we can go out and have a really nice dinner anytime that we want, and we won't be like struggling or hurting. You know, there's people out there doing it. So every time I travel, and you know, I go places and I come back and people are like, man, like back to reality. I've never thought like that. I was never like that. I always thought like, okay, I'm back home. What do I have to do to go back out there and travel and to enjoy myself even more?
Right.
And like, I promise you, there's been times where I came back from traveling and I was excited to go home and like get to work.
I remember you were like that when we went to Hawaii.
Yeah, like excited. I'm like, bro, we're in Hawaii, and like there's so much more to experience and enjoy. Like I'm excited to go back and figure out how I can do it.
Yeah, I think that's always like, since I've known you, that's like your mentality. It's like that night we were both like, well, like what can we do to like get back here sooner?
Yeah.
Like, and not be like, oh, this is only like on like very rare special occasions.
Yeah.
It's just like whenever we want to have a nice dinner, we can go there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And we like always want to, when it comes to traveling, we want to create a life that we don't have to take a vacation from. If that makes sense. From our reality, we don't want to live a life that we have to get away from. You know, we want to make our life a vacation, so to say. You know, and it's very possible to do so.
Yeah, sometimes like I don't know, like just being really transparent. Like sometimes, like when you're going through stuff, it feels like those, like that lifestyle you want can be like so far away. Definitely,
and oftentimes it is. So, but we yesterday we also had an eventful night.
Yeah.
We went to one of my friend's birthday party, and it was also in LA, and it was inside a penthouse that was 48 floors.
Yeah.
Up in the sky. Crazy view of Los Angeles.
Nice view.
Like you look to the right and the Staples Center's right there, LA Live's right there. And it's like I had one of those moments like, wow, what do I got to do to get here? And it's crazy because the owner of the penthouse, I don't know if you know this, but the dude's only like 26. And those penthouses, they are not cheap. They're going for like...
No. I'm going to just like put it in perspective for you guys, this penthouse in LA. You have to have special access to get onto floors. Yeah. So, like, you have, like, a key fob, basically, and you have to scan that key fob, and that key fob already has your information on it and lets you go to, like, just your level. Like, say you live, like, on the 48th floor, you scan that key fob, and it'll tell you which elevator to go to. By the way, which elevator to go to.
Yeah, and there's like then 6 of them.
Yeah, and then it'll tell you, like, and it'll just open up that single door, like, when it comes down, and then it'll just take you straight up to your floor. So there's no, like, oh, I'm just gonna go, like, see what's going on the 20th floor. Like, it's none of that. No. Like, it's so highly secured, and it's so nice, clean, modern, and it's just, like, one of those things, like, this is crazy. Like,
it's crazy because it's, like, when you get to that next level in life, it's sad to say, but people treat you different.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Like, these people, they send you right up where you need to go, and you know no one's going to be bothering you because no one can go up there and mess with you. And so they actually sent us to the wrong floor. We were supposed to go to the 48th floor, and they sent us to the 42nd.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any stairs. Probably somewhere in the corner, but
yeah, for obviously emergencies.
So the only way we couldn't go, like, we couldn't type in like floor 48 and go up there. We had to go all the way back down to floor 1 and then go to the front, tell them, hey, can you send us to floor 48? And they'll do that. So it's just amazing. Like, man, it's just crazy how people just treat you different when you're in I guess different, what's the word I'm looking for? That next level, of income, so to say.
The next bracket, basically.
Yeah. So, and it's crazy because the party was super fun. It was there's a lot of cool people on there, and I was introducing Morgan to a lot of people on there, but she was also talking to a lot of people, and it's crazy because the environment that we were in, like, I was telling her, oh, he owns this company and we're working with him, and he does this, he does that, and it's just a different environment. Usually when we were used to going to parties, it was like,
we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat, and just like almost like crabs in a bucket, so to say. Like, we were just all kind of pulling each other down, and in there, everybody's like having fun and connecting.
Yeah, because I did have the opportunity to talk to one of the guys that owns a bigger company, and it was funny because he was like, I don't know, like, I don't know how to take it, but he was like, oh yeah, like every time he was talking about Chris, he was just like already teaming us together. Like, oh yeah, like you guys like do this. And I'm like sitting there like, I don't do any of this, but like I can kind of understand because they probably already see us like as a team. Like, what he does is what you do, and like how he represents himself is like how he represents you.
Yeah.
But they were really cool. I actually got to talk to them on multiple occasions. Really nice people. And it's like crazy because, you know, sometimes when people are young and make money like that, they can kind of have like this, like, oh, like, don't talk to me, like, I'm better than you.
Really
like,
standoff.
Yeah, very standoffish. But these people are like so down to earth. And it, like, when I left, when we like both like separated ways, they're like, oh yeah, like, hope to see you again. Like, it was like a mutual type of thing, not like, oh, it's only like strictly like business, you know.
Definitely. And even the ballet was like phenomenal. I think they were out there 24 hours, to be honest.
Yeah, he said it because I told you to ask him. I'm like, oh, ask him what time they leave. And he was just like 24 hours.
And it's just, for me, recently, I've been surrounding myself with just a different type of lifestyle. And it just opens up possibilities to what we can have. And even... They taking my car, taking my Honda, and there's like Lamborghinis and like Ferraris and Porsches, Teslas and all types of crazy stuff pulling up, and then like he pulls up with my Honda.
And you're like, ugh.
Yeah, but it's just like,
it's just one of those things. Like I even said, I was like, can it be our turn already?
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree. And you know, a lot of people they say, okay, you know, that penthouse, how much is a penthouse? That honestly is probably like, I'm gonna be honest, it's probably like $15,000 a month.
You think so?
I'm like 90% sure that's like $15,000 a month.
Dang.
No lie, like 15 grand a month. And people are like, well, that's too expensive. Like, how can you live? How can you want to live in Southern California, LA? It's too expensive. Taxes are too high.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But my thing is, it is very crazy. But you know what? People are living in these places. Right.
It's doable.
People are living in these places, so why can't we live in these places, you know? Literally. And a lot of time, we seen people in the elevator that look just like us, same color as us. Like, if they can do it, why can't we do it? Right. You know, if you can get a place in LA, San Diego, whatever, you know, even though it's expensive, by all means do it, you know?
It's kind of like whatever makes you, it is whatever makes you happy. Like, if living in that penthouse that costs you $15,000 a month makes you happy, then by all means do it. Like, you only have one life to live. You can't live by like other people's like, oh, you should do this or oh, you should do that, because then you're living your life for them and not for yourself.
No, exactly. And this kind of brings me up to my next point. I had posted this on Instagram. I posted, you know, opening up your mind to how can I instead of I can't. So what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I like totally agree. I mean, I feel like we've all been victim to saying like, oh, I can't do that. Like, for sure. Because it's kind of like one of those things that's like naturally like taught to us that like, oh, you can't do that or you can't do that. And you're just like, oh, okay. Like, if I know I can't, like, if I know it's not possible or I feel like it's not possible, then I just say I can't do it. But if you like say, oh, okay, maybe not now, but maybe later, then that already gets your mind thinking, okay, like, what do I have to do in order to get that? Yeah.
So the reason why I posted that on Instagram, and I always feel like the things that I think are most impactful that I post on Instagram, they do not get any type of attention like at all. Like
that's how it is, because a lot of people aren't ready to hear it.
Exactly. That is very true. So basically what I mean by saying, instead of saying I can't, using how can I, is like what Morgan was saying, is when you say I can't, your mind is literally shutting down the possibilities and the possibilities of achieving whatever you're going after. It's saying, okay, I can't do this, so boom, shuts down.
Right.
By you saying how can I lose weight, how can I make this money, how can I afford this penthouse, now your mind goes in a creative state of trying to figuring out how we can make this happen. And that's, for me, I try to stay in that state. If I start shutting stuff down in my mind, that we're not going to live the life that we want. But by me staying in a state of how can I every single day, no matter where I'm at right now, to me that opens up the creativity for me to get to that, or for us to get to that level.
Yeah, allows your brain to start to think of possibilities.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I would encourage you guys. I have a lot of conversation with people, and they always say, I can't, maybe start trying to say, how can I,
Or, I don't know, like, sometimes you can just be like, you know what, I'm going to try.
At least try, yeah.
Like, at least try. Be like, you know what, I might have this I can't thought in my head, but you know what, I'm going to at least try. Like, just take a swing at it and see where it gets me.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least, like, that will teach you something,
Yeah, for sure. Something else that I posted on Instagram, something else that I thought it was like super impactful, didn't get no love, it's all good, was a Bible verse I posted, and I wanted to get your thoughts about it. So it's Romans 5:19, and it reads, "For as by the one man's disobedience the many were made sinners, so by the one man's obedience the many will be made righteous."
Mm-hmm.
So the way I interpret that was, if you are disobedient to your calling and what God has for you to do, then the people around you will fall.
Right.
But if you're obedient to your calling, then it's attached to other people's destinies and other people's successes.
Yeah, I was thinking about it more in like a generational aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we were having a conversation, I don't know if it was last night, and you were like, or I think it was, no, it was last night.
Mm-hmm.
We used to work at a store together, and people would bring in their whole families to steal.
Oh, yeah. Talk about it.
Whole families, like, from dang near grandma, mom, aunts, they have a whole family ring. And it's just like Chris was saying, like, you're setting your family up for failure.
What would they do in there?
They would steal.
Okay.
They would just, like, they would literally have, like, a whole scheme to it all, like, whole plan, like, this person goes on this side, this person goes on this side, start, like, talking to the employee over here, get them distracted, and then while they're distracted, we'll just kind of go ahead and take stuff. But Chris was saying, like, you're just setting your whole family up for failure. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you're so right. Like, you're exposing your whole generation, basically, to what you think is okay, which is stealing. And you are forever, like, you're putting your family back for so long. Because guess what? You're going to pass away, and then your kids are going to teach that to their kids.
Yeah. And
hopefully that doesn't happen, but that's how generational curses start.
Yeah.
Like, it just takes one disobedient man to make everyone else fail. But if you're that one in that whole family and you're like, you know what? No, that's not right. I'm going to set forth a better foot. I'm not going to teach my kids this, and this is not going to be passed down throughout our generation. Now you have all these righteous people following behind you.
Yeah, no, that was big. That like gave me the chills for real. And I feel like it's everything that we've been talking about today ties together, like exposing ourselves to a different lifestyle and opening up the opportunities of what we can have,
right.
and stepping outside the boundaries of what we've been taught to go get more, and that was really good. So, yeah, we would always see people going in there stealing as a family, and
it's just sad. Or like people would literally bring in like baby strollers, baby car seats, and you would think a baby's in there, but they're just stuffing the whole thing with like stolen things.
Yeah, it's
like
sad,
so
and
annoying.
it's really sad to think about, like, as adults that they have to do that. And I was like, bro, I'm sorry, but it's a wrap for your family, because now everybody in your family thinks like that. You guys are gonna be stealing for the rest of your life. You'll be stuck in a cycle. So yeah, I mean that's a really good perspective. But I also believe that if we're not obedient to our calling, it'll greatly affect the people around us. So, for example, the one that comes to my mind is working at Riches and Saints. If I don't like using names on here, but if the two owners, if they weren't obedient to their calling, then that wouldn't have opened up opportunity for all of us to work as a team.
Very true.
And, do the things that we're doing. And for myself, if I'm not obedient to my calling to when I was 18 years old and I was living in Sacramento and I felt like I had hit a ceiling out there, and I felt like I was being called to move to Southern California. Like, it was tugging at me. If I didn't follow that calling, I wouldn't have a podcast. I wouldn't be married right now. I don't know where I'd be. So, and that leads into like us, going after the things that we want in life, and then you living out your earthly calling is attached to other people's successes and destiny as well. So I think that's one of those Bible verses I might get tatted on me.
Oh my gosh, y'all! He doesn't have a single tattoo.
No, I don't. I always say, if I were to ever get a Bible verse tatted on me, I need to read the whole Bible.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. And that's something else. We're doing this challenge where basically you can read the Bible. It breaks it down for you where you can read the Bible in 1 year. And we literally got half a month left. Yeah. Almost half a month.
20 something days.
Yeah, it's been.
I think it might be less than 20 days.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride.
I definitely will have to I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it every year. I'm gonna just because I feel like I sometimes I miss things and I have to go back, and I'm just sometimes when I read, you know how you read and then you get distracted and your mind starts to wander and you're just oh my gosh, what was I reading? And then you go back. I just feel now if I go back and read the Bible, I'll already know most of the things. No, I'm not even gonna say most. I'm gonna know a quarter of the things. So I feel in order for you to know a lot of the Bible, it does take you to read it multiple times. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree. And what I was gonna tell you is what I was thinking about doing in the new year is reading it again, but focus on studying it. So
that's true. Actually taking notes.
I don't know if I'll be able to read the whole thing again because I would like to pick apart the Bible and really learn. Yeah. So there's two different methods that you can do.
Right now we're just reading it as a storytelling type of thing. Yeah. But then how I want to go back and read it, you're saying, I want to annotate it.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or wanted to say on the podcast?
No, I just wanted to say I had a really good time last night. We don't really go out like that. Literally we left at the time that we would usually be going to bed.
Oh yeah, we left out there. We left to LA.
Yeah, past our bedtime. Yeah. I was just oh my gosh. And he was I was oh my gosh, I'm gonna get tired. He's don't tell yourself you're gonna get tired the whole night. You're good. Don't tell yourself that. And I didn't until we got in the car, and I literally was nodding off the whole car ride. Yeah. I was oh, I'm tired now. But I was perfectly fine throughout the whole party.
Yeah, definitely. We just definitely wanted to step outside our comfort zone and experience some other stuff. And I'm glad we did.
We weren't even planning to, let's be real, we really weren't even planning to go. We decided probably
an hour or 2 hours before.
No, but let's be more realistic.
What?
Probably 4 hours before.
Okay.
We decided 4 hours before, all right, let's just go. You know, we don't really go out like that. We'll just have one night out. Who cares? And we had a really good time. It's definitely not something we'll be doing every weekend and carrying on like that, because I am busted today. I just want to sleep all day today. And it's not even we got out of control.
No,
it's not like that, but it was just us getting home late.
Yeah.
And
we're used to getting up early.
Yes, we're used to getting up early, and we didn't really even get our day started until about noon, 1 o'clock. Yeah. It was just oh my gosh. And even still now, if you guys see me, I'm wrapped up in a blanket. I just want to lay all day today, lay in bed.
Definitely one of the things I've learned in the past couple of years is never say no to an adventure
or to an experience.
Yeah, because the times that we've thought about not doing things and we ended up doing them, we had an amazing time.
Yeah, we always have so much fun.
Yeah, and it's crazy because when you said the other day, the next day after your birthday, after we had the dinner and all that, it was kind of crazy because you were oh, I kept replaying last night in my head.
Yeah.
I was wow, that was crazy. Yeah. I'd be doing that too. So that's pretty much it, guys. We just wanted to come on here and discuss a few things, discuss how our week's been going and kind of the mindset behind getting to that next level. So on that note, if you guys really want to support this podcast, please do us a huge favor and just share this podcast with one other person. Just one person.
Like literally, you can send it to your mom. You can send it to your boyfriend, your friend, your girlfriend. You can send it to literally anyone because it's appropriate for everyone.
It's appropriate for everybody. And my number one goal when people say, hey, can I get on the podcast or whatever, I always tell people, I don't care if you get on the podcast, just leave some type of value for my listeners because I don't want you guys wasting your time. And I really value your guys' time. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch y'all next week.
Bye.
That's right. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in bed.